All right, so jumping into the other side of this, let's kick it over to Lexington, where Mark Stoops also met with the media here on Monday. And unfortunate news here because defensive lineman Octavius Oxidine, who was just named co-defensive lineman of the week in the SEC, out for the season. Nose guard McQuane McCall also going to be out for this game. So Kentucky's kind of going into it limping a bit after their dominant performance against LSU. And of course, Georgia is the last team in the country you want to go in limping against. So, hey, it's going to be a monumental task for Kentucky to go on the road and prove that they belong not only as a SEC elite, but nationally elite. And that's exactly what they will prove if they go into Georgia and pull off this upset on the road between the hedges against the mighty Georgia Bulldogs. But hey, this is what you've been building for if you're Mark Stoops. Every few years, you're conquering a new challenge. You're beating Florida. Hell, you've beaten them twice now, but for years and years, what was it? I think it was 31 years in a row. You couldn't get over that hump. Mississippi State was a hump you had to get over. Tennessee was a hump you had to get over. Now you've beaten them in Neyland Stadium. I mean, basically every year you're breaking barriers in Lexington under Mark Stoops, and the biggest one of all, the Georgia Bulldogs, stand in your way of reaching Atlanta. And without a doubt, this has got to be the best Kentucky team of the Mark Stoops era. But the way Coach Stoops sees it, this Georgia Bulldogs defense is probably the best defense he's seen in the SEC since he's been in the SEC, and we're going on a decade here. So, that just emphasizes the monumental task in front of the Kentucky Wildcats this week, doing it a little bit shorthanded. But like I said, with Will Levis heating up, the best he's looked all season last week against LSU, you got to take that into consideration. He's got to carry that over. And it looks like, not officially ruled out, but Josh Ali, the team's second leading receiver, doubtful for this game, according to Mark Stoops. Let's kick it over to Coach. Talks about 2018 Georgia game. It's hard to forget that one. That was the great Kentucky 10-win team that, they weren't ready for this. They played Georgia with everything on the line, just like it will be here on Saturday. They came up well short against a really, really good Georgia team. This Georgia team's even better. But on the flip side, this Kentucky team's a hell of a lot better, in my opinion, than they were in 2018. So how does that play a factor into this one? On Will Levis and his continued growth in the offense. Remember, it's easy to forget. He kind of like we've been saying with Zach Calzada only starting a couple games here. Basically the same thing for Will Levis and Liam Cohen and their time together. I mean, they're still growing as a play caller and a quarterback and getting comfortable with each other with live bullets. So maybe they've ironed out basically all the issues they had and feeling great. It's obviously not going to help that you're going up against mighty Georgia's defense, but now that they have a feeling out process that takes time. Hell, look no further than Tennessee and Josh Heupel and Hendon Hooker. I mean, it took them several weeks as well to get in rhythm, to get on the same page on game day, and it certainly seems like Will Levis and Liam Cohen are at that stage in their time together.
Given the looks and blitz packages Georgia likes to bring defensively, what kind of challenge? I mean, it's going to be big, obviously, for Will Levis. Could you talk about that a little bit?
I'm sorry, repeat that, Dick.
Given the looks and blitz packages that Georgia likes to use, talk about the challenge for Will this week.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on you because they're good. Just in lining up in their base defense and playing, they're good. And then you start mixing in any kind of pressures or different looks, and getting the big thing for will be him having some time. The protection being good, guys getting open. It'll be a challenge for everybody. I mean, they give up 200 yards a game or something ridiculous. They're number one in our league by like 100 and some yards, and giving up 50 some a game in rushing. I mean, they're playing at a ridiculous level defensively.
That's true. It's fair to say that Levis is a football player.
Yeah, he's.
Takes blood like a boxer. He's ready to go.
It's fair to say, Lonnie, that he's a good football player, and just with the way he runs, the way he ad-libbed a little bit. We do a lot of different things, as you could tell, with a lot of different shifts, motions, different actions in the run game. Whether it's a bad snap or a bobbled snap, he's made plays with certain things. He has. The other day, we were mixed up on a play. He turns around and runs it for 8 yards or something, so just things of that nature. He's playing very good football, and really watching that film, Will really definitely played a complete game. I mentioned after the game that, I thought he really started well, but really he played good the entire game. He really did some good things. Some of those throws he made, even on the incompletion to Wandell, was just a beautiful pass, and he just, he played at a very high level and threw some really impressive throws.
Mark, in this position, you've mentioned several times every game is a learning opportunity, win or lose. You guys were in a similar position in 2018 against Georgia. Anything you learned from that experience that can be applied for?
I think you do. I mean, there's nothing for me to talk about with that or anything, but the guys know. I mean, the players that have been around, as I mentioned, the leaders, guys that have been here, for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they understand the situations and different, learning opportunities and things that we learned from that game. I mean, I'm not going to get into it because it was 2 years ago, but I believe as an organization you get better with every opportunity, and I think we're getting better each and every day.
Is this the best defense you've faced since you've been here?
What is?
Is this the best defense you've faced since you've been here?
It's hard to argue that. I really haven't put much thought into other great defenses. We certainly have played a lot of great defenses through my time here. I didn't put any thought in that, but you watch these guys on film, and it's another level. It's another level of good. It's really impressive what they're doing defensively.
All right, so there you got it from Coach, and man, I cannot wait for this. I mean, this is going to be an epic battle, basically SEC East on the line. And, I think if you're Kentucky, you got to like the spot because no one outside of Lexington is going to be picking you to win this game. That's basically, how this program was built. Everyone's picking against you the entire time, waiting for Mark Stoops to fail. Mark Stoops' program is basically built on Georgia guys that Georgia didn't want, Florida guys that Florida didn't want, Ohio guys that Ohio State didn't want. Now's the time you go out here and prove all these people wrong. Prove the mistakes they made during your recruitment, and everything's on the table here for the Kentucky Wildcats. And, man, you just got to go out there and seize it. And this is what you've been building for years and years and years. Now is the time to go out there and prove you belong as an elite in the country. And hell, if you do it, you may be the number one team in the country come Sunday. Let's not overlook that fact. I mean, whose resume would be better than beating if Kentucky manages to beat Florida Gators, Georgia Bulldogs? I don't know. I mean, that's something we got to consider here.